but there was a rumor that you were behind one of the Shade Room's, fake pages talking negative about Step Team. So I want you here to clear that rumor up. Coach Will, were you behind one of the Shade Room Step pages on social media that was talking negative about Step Teams? The floor is yours.
Do it cause you can. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do it with your fan. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do it in the stand. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Show 'em you a fan.
All right, welcome to another. Let me do that again. Let me not cough too loud. With Corona. I'm just playing.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another edition of the Step Exchange. I am Coach B, your step guru, and today we have Coach Will out of Texas. What's up, Coach Will? How you doing?
Yes. What's going on, world?
No, we just looking at you.
On the Step Exchange, child. This
Come
is
on.
big.
Finally, come on. Let them know it's big. Let them know.
This is big.
Come on. No, it's big having you on here because you already know I love your team. You already know Raw Icons is my team, yo.
I appreciate it too. I appreciate the love so much.
No problem. I was waiting for Stomp Wars. I was like, I know they're going to Stomp Wars, and I love when new teams. Your teams. You're not a new coach, but the teams come in.
The team was new.
Team was new, and I was like, yo, they're gonna give these other teams a run for. I love that type of competition. I love it when the teams come and you don't know who gonna win. That's my favorite type of show. We don't know who gonna win.
I was excited.
I was too, but COVID just messed up because people won't wear their masks.
Yeah.
So all right, but here we go. But before we get into these questions with Coach Will, we are going to see a clip of his team. Everybody check out the Royal Icons. All right, we are back. That ripple, that's the video of y'all doing a ripple. I love ripples. I love ripples. So
Trust me.
I love all that.
Yes.
So all right, so let's get into these questions with you. And everyone, I read them from my phone. Question number one: what made you start coaching Step?
Okay, so this started at church because I was big in church when I was little. I used to mime, dance, praise, sing, all that stuff. And a girl from my church, she went to Bowie High School. Okay. Yeah, everybody know who Bowie is. She went to Bowie High School and she thought, okay, instead of dancing and stuff, let's add another element. So she taught us a step. I knew nothing about step at the time, but she taught us a step. We did a step. I liked it. So at that time I was in middle school. I went and started my own little team in middle school. Mind you, I didn't know what I was doing, but we had a little pep rally team or whatever. And then when I got to high school, I was asking around like, y'all got a step team? Y'all got a step team? Y'all got a step team? And I found a high school that had a step team, who are steppers, who I originated from. And yeah, I got into step. Crazy part is I was in the background. I didn't have words. I didn't used to say nothing. I used to make up steps. So how I became to be the person I am today for as loving step, I have no idea.
It's funny because it's always a person that's in the back that seems to come out and just kill it. But when I was on the step team in high school, I was in the front. All right. So, all right, here we go. But I'm just messing. All right. Well, thank you for that. Question number two. What makes your team stand out and is different from other teams? And there's no shade to any teams, but when you have your own team, you want your team to stand out. So what makes your team different and stand out from any other step team?
I'm one of those coaches who don't mind. I feel like every state and city and area have that where, oh, well, we step like Georgia, we step like Texas, or blah, 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 blah. I'm one of those where I want to step like everybody. If I see something I like, I will call that coach and be like, hey, can I do that? Can I use that? I didn't call Curtis. Curtis taught me how to do one of the out-of-state ripples, because of course we used to do ripples down here, but it was different in South Carolina. He taught me how to do a ripple. What is the dude name? I can't even think his name. Not Gavin. The other one that's kind of like always with him. GSL coaches. Who?
Marquez.
Yes. he was down here for Stump Boys. They were down here for Stump Boys. I had him to one of my practices. It's just I wanted the flavor, the style, the transitions. I'm like one of those who's not scared to look like another state. I want all that. I don't want to look like just Texas. So you get what I'm saying? When people say still in or quote unquote, oh, they trying to do what Georgia does. No, it's just trying to give us an upper hand, because when we compete against y'all, we know y'all have judges that judge off certain things that we don't do here. So why not get my head in the game far as, you know, getting material, not material, but far as like
flavor.
That's y'all styles. Yeah, y'all flavor. Get some of that into Texas, and yeah, we good. So that makes my team stand out, because we don't look like everybody else in our city. Right, I would say, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I call that being well versed. Well, you know, nothing wrong with that.
Well rounded, yeah.
Well versed, well rounded. That's it. That's it. I don't blame you at all, because I do it as well. I ask all the time. People love to say I steal it, but they don't know the phone call I made before they saw it. But
correct. Thank you.
I call all the time. People, he got that from me. He got that from me. No, I called the person, but y'all never asked that question. But that's another topic. All right, here we go. Next question. What do you do to keep your youth interested in being on your step team?
I think I'm more so it's crazy, because I think I'm the fun coach.
Okay.
But really, I'm not the fun coach. I've noticed this from having like assistant coaches that I'm not really the fun coach. Like, they don't really come talk to me because I'm the serious one. And I used to think I wasn't the serious person, but I am fun. I understand life. I understand y'all are teenagers. Y'all can call and talk to me about anything. And then I'm all about school also. We have a grace period where my kids get out at like maybe 3:50. We don't start practice till 4:30. Everybody got to go to tutoring. You get what I'm saying? So if you failing, there's no excuse at all. Like you just not stepping because you had that time period to go study, do what you got to do. But some of them don't take advantage of that. And yeah, that's not my fault. I think so. Me being, I don't want to say a father figure because I'm still fairly young. Being more of a big brother in the sense of, you know, I don't just care about step. I care about your life at home, your personal life, how you doing in school. So the kids know that they can come to me about anything. So they love that connection, that bond, and they really enjoy it. It's like for some of these kids, like it was for me, it was a home away from home. Some of these kids' home life is, you know, not so well. So they enjoy coming to practice because we're just like another family, and they be needing that love and support sometimes. So when you give that off kids, well, they will come back. They're going to tell a friend, all that.
Oh yeah. Understand that. Thank you for that. All right. And another one, what do you want steppers on your team to gain from being on your team?
Discipline.
What is one thing you like about being a Texas team?
The fact that if you say Texas, I feel like people, although they try to make it seem like we kind of feel like we're underrated, but at the same time, I feel like when you say Texas, people know it's competition. I'm sorry. People know it's competition. Texas is definitely going to be in the mix somewhere between their first, second, and third if we're ever in the building. That's just period. So I love the fact that Texas, some of the teams, not all of our teams, but we've put a name for ourselves, although we haven't been that big as everybody else. And we'll explain that in a minute on some of the other questions. But I love the fact that we're on the map. You say Texas, people going to feel like for this competition.
I love it. I tell you one time, I love me a good Texas team. I'm ready to come over to Texas for a step. I'm ready. And when COVID is over, I'm bringing X Factor to Texas, and we're gonna have a couple Saturday. We're gonna have a couple Saturday practices because we got to come right. Because one thing I like about Texas, y'all tell the truth. Y'all tell the truth. If it was good, yes, that was good. If it was a mess, we didn't like it. There's no gray area. And I said, see, that's what I like. You either like it or you don't. Y'all don't do the, well.
And I feel like Texas, there's no favoritism. I feel like there's a lot of favoritism when I go to other cities and other states. But Texas, baby, I can be the number one team. But if somebody came, if KI and beat us, my judge is going to be like, they beat y'all today. But it is.
They beat you. Right. So, okay. All right. So here we go. You know what? I'm going to get to the Texas stuff in a second. But before we get to these hot topics, it's coming up. Before we get to these hot topics, we're going to see another clip of Royal Icons. Take a look.
Let's see.
All right. Now we get to these hot topics. Well, don't start cussing, 'cause I want to edit out.
Oh, Lord.
Try your best. Right, and we are back. All right, Coach Will, are you ready? With these hot topics. Here we go. Whew, it's time for hot topics. Let's talk.
Let's
Question number one. I'm just going to dive right into it. I'm going to set the scene first before I ask the question. All right, setting the scene. Of course, you know, social media is a place where people get on there and teams create their on the social media, their social media pages to kind of let everybody know what their team is doing and kind of put them out there. That's what people give the invitations. But social media has also been a place where people use it to come against other teams. They make pages and they start things, especially with making the fake pages. Rumor was, there was a rumor that you were behind one of the Shade Room's, you know, fake pages talking negative about Step Team. So I want you here to clear that rumor up. Coach Will, were you behind one of the Shade Room Step pages on social media that was talking negative about Step Teams? The floor is yours.
Okay, yes and no. Yes and no. So I was behind one of the Shade Room pages, but I can tell you what I posted, and I never talked negative about any team, and that's my right hand of God. Never talked negative about any team. My page was up maybe 2 days before it got deleted and blocked and all that. So I put a Stepper Shade Room page up. The first team that I even said something about was my own Texas team, was Bowie Girls. Mm-hmm. And I said they sacrifice crunkness over precision. Now, I don't know if people feel like that's me talking about them, but that's me just knowing Bowie Girls. That's me being at Bowie Girls practice. That's me helping Bowie. So if I say they sacrifice crunkness over precision, that's not talking about them. That's saying that's not the Bowie that I'm used to seeing.
Okay.
So in your opinion, tell me, is that talking about them? Because that was exactly the caption. I said they sacrifice they sacrifice precision for crunkiness in this particular clip.
I'll be completely real with you. If I was me being a coach and my brain being fully developed as a grown man, I wouldn't take it anyway. Me being a 16 and 15-year-old, I would say somebody's talking about us. And I'll tell you why. Because you know nowadays precision is everybody. Precision.
Right.
I could care less. Precision, I do what I can do. But when somebody says you guys sacrifice crunkness or precision, meaning you had one and the other, meaning you were hype, but you were sloppy at the same time. It's just subliminal messages that maybe the coaches, we might understand like, oh, okay, I get it. But a 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16, they're not going to get that because remember, their brains aren't fully developed yet like ours are being grown.
Right. I understand that completely. But I guess me forgetting that it's a social media page and them not knowing, because had they known who I was, who said it, then they'd be like, okay, but them not knowing who it is, they can take that a whole other kind of way. But yeah, that's just me knowing Bowie. I'm like, Bowie is used to being precise. So I feel like they sacrificed their precision for crunkness. So it definitely wasn't me being negative.
Right. Hold up. My question for you is why not, if coming from Bowie, why not just tell them? If they, I come from this school, I come from stepping with y'all, let me just send a message, hey, can I talk to the girls or the boys, whoever it was, and just tell them as a alumni stepper. Didn't you come from Bowie?
I know. I didn't come from Bowie.
Oh, what team was it? Oh, that was Muwat you came from.
Yes, I'm from Muwat.
All right, well then just being a coach, maybe not, why not go to the coach maybe and say that, it's thinking in hindsight.
I don't even remember who the coach was. But yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Your second point.
Second point, I put up a video and me and this coach had this conversation. I put up a video of them literally doing the same step. And I just, one of those compare videos, like who did it better or, who actually created this step.
Right.
I feel like, in my opinion, that wasn't me talking negative, but of course the comments from the kids and the coaches and well, we made this and they stole it from us. That's where that whole little thing went to.
Right. Now can you see how it could have started it just by, and we're big on, and like you said, you'll call coaches to get material from it. You call Curtis, you call people and get some material. So you see how it says who did it first. It's like getting on the award show and say who wore it best. Her or her.
The crazy part is about that whole situation, I wish I can just name names.
Please don't name any names. Please People waiting for me to have shady moments. We don't need no names. It's just if you
I
know
wish
who it
I could
is,
name-
you know who
but
it is.
It's crazy because it was somebody that was close to me who knew about the Stepper Shade page, who I told them before I even created. And they like, yeah, go ahead, create. That's gonna be fun. Blah 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 blah. And then soon as me and you don't see eye to eye, you go back and tell this coach, well, yeah, this is the person who's behind this page. Blah 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 blah. All that right there. It was a mess, child.
I mean, I didn't know I saw it, and every day I'd be like, please don't nobody say about X, because you know if you say my X Factor, you already know you might have just I'm gonna give you 24 hours, and then I'm just gonna light the whole internet up, and I'm just gonna, I'm just like, but no, I'm just playing. But I just felt bad because with me, I think about the kids. Talk about me all day. People talk about me all day. I can really, I don't care. But the kids are still at that impression of peer pressure. I want to be liked. I want to, everybody look at me like I'm somebody. They'll get to the point where they don't care, but they're still young, so they do have that, impression on it. So,
right.
I
guess after it got deleted, I felt like it wasn't one of my finer moments in life. I feel like we've all had our moments where we're like, okay, I definitely could have did something better. But I was behind that page, and
And I honestly, Coach Will, I really appreciate you being honest. I think people watching are going to appreciate you being honest as well. And you saying, well, not one of your finer moments. We've all had it. If anybody watching this has never had a bad moment, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? I have moments, so.
I want to know, though, how did this get, I feel like at this point, international, of like coaches all over saying, well, Coach Will's behind this page. Jesus.
I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I didn't know. People hit me up. You know who's doing it? I said, I don't know. Leave me out of it, because y'all know y'all want to always say it's something that I've done. Nope, I'm sitting in Charlotte, minding my own business, eating my individual packets of peanuts. That means minding my own business. Okay. And then when it came out, people were texting, it's Coach Will, Coach Will. I never said nothing. I said, he ain't never done nothing to me.
That is crazy,
my name.
though.
So I never hit you up like Will. I was like, nope, me and Coach Will have been cool. I know him. I know him through Memphis. He ain't never said nothing about X Factor. So that is nothing that I'm getting into. Let me continue.
At this point, I'm just like, what rep do I have where people just automatically be like, that's Will, that's Coach Will? I'm not known like that. And what rep have I gave y'all in the step world to be like, oh yeah, that's Will on his messy stuff again? I'm like,
I never. That's the only time I've ever heard that. Somebody it was coming out that somebody said they knew it was you. So it wasn't we're going to automatically think it was Will. It could have been somebody you told who's been telling everybody, and they told, they told. That's how it was.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So,
sense.
But and I'll be honest with you, you're not the only coach that did one. And I'm glad you were honest, and and I'm not doing this to bring you out or like that. I'm just glad that we're able to clear the air of that and move on to let us know, like, y'all, that wasn't one of my finer moments. We've all had a moment we didn't appreciate, but we grow and we evolve, and stuff like that. So I do appreciate that.
Right.
I do appreciate that. All right, well, we cleared the air on that one, so we
cleared
can put that one in the trash can. Nobody should ever bring that back on up. Next, moving on. All right, here we go. Oh, and we already talked about this, and I want to hear your full comment on this. Do you feel Texas teams are underrated by step teams outside of Texas? We kind of hit a little bit of it, but I wanted you to go in depth with it.
I feel like, okay, those who have competed against us, and I'm saying people like Gavin, Marquez, Travaris, they've all competed against it, because it was one point all our nationals, NSA, something like that. They've been gone for a couple of years. NSA, where Texas used to do a clean sweep every year. It was at a point where Texas used to do a clean sweep every year. So those three in particular, I feel like we're not underrated by those, but everybody else maybe so. And I feel like it's because we don't travel enough. But in Texas, most of our teams are based out of schools. We're based out of school, so we have all these rules where y'all can only go out of town one time.
For those big shows.
All these different rules and regulations. So we always choose, we just gonna do nationals. Our national trip, our NSA trip, that's all we gonna do. We wanna go out of town. We wanna go to some of the Georgia shows and South Carolina shows, but our schools don't allow us to do that. So we don't be put on the map as much, like, the little hot 10 list from Step USA. None of the Texas coaches have ever been on,
LB was on there.
YMOD, yeah. YMOD, because they've been there before, but their community. Once again, every community.
Right.
So we only have about 2 community teams that's in Texas, in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, school regulation. But yeah, I definitely feel like we're underrated because we don't get out enough. We don't travel enough. We don't see and compete against too many people. But those who know about Texas, who have competed against us years ago, they know.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But
I
for
haven't
those
been
who
over there.
haven't,
Mhm.
those who haven't, then yeah, we're definitely underrated by them. They don't really know what we can bring to the table because we don't be at too many shows that everybody is at.
Well, and you have honestly, y'all have nothing to prove. Y'all have a lot of shows in Texas, so why travel and waste? Not saying you're wasting money, but spend all that money. You know what I'm saying? When you guys already have a show here, a show there, a show there. And I honestly said this to a coach in North Carolina when I was getting ready. I said, you know what? I'm going to stay in the Carolinas. I might hit South Carolina and I could probably hit Georgia. That's nothing but like 4 hours away from me. But I'm not
Right.
going everywhere. I'm going to let my show be the national show because, you know, I got a lot of kids on the team. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to let the big show, all that money, be the national show. And I say, you know, I'm going to be like Texas. They stay in their state until it's time to travel outside for national. Even though y'all got Stump Wars there, but you guys stay in your state until it's time to travel outside. And that was my inspiration of saying, I got an approval. You don't come down here, I ain't coming down there, and I'm still good. You know what I'm saying? You still know about me. So
that's another thing that I love about Texas. We have so many teams, and we literally have shows back to back, weekend after weekend, weekend after weekend. Granted, the downfall for that is okay, we competing against the same people, but the upscale, our kids have something to do every weekend. As much as they say they're tired of step, when they don't have a show, they like, oh Lord, what are we about to do this weekend?
What we're about to do. I love
But
Texas.
we have shows every weekend. We have shows every weekend. So yeah, that's the upscale. But yeah, I feel like we're underrated in the fact that we're not seen a lot. But I feel like people that know about step, you know, who've been in this for a minute, they know when they see Texas on the map, then it's like, okay, yeah, we need to get ready. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I like Texas. And honestly, I tell people all the time. I'm not just saying 'cause I'm on the thing with you. I say all the time, I love me a good Texas team. I live for Texas. If it wasn't North Carolina, if they say if you can go compete in any state for free, we'll fly you there. Texas. Send me to Texas. I want to go to Texas.
We live.
I love it. I love the energy.
The last nationals that we had like a year ago, 2 years ago, Texas did a clean sweep.
There you go.
And you know, shout out to everybody, but Chaotic was there, Galvin and Marquez team was there. Texas did a clean sweep. And it just is what like we are like, you know, we do we gotta do.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all brutal in Texas too. I don't know who the team was, but I said this on another one. This team went to a show. It was a male team. They went to a show. And they got disqualified. The next following week, they had shirts that said disqualified on the shirts. I said, now that's how I don't know who the team was, but I live for it.
Texas, we are that petty team, which is why we got our shade is different. We are that shady team where you throw shade at us, we will do your whole show the next show. Like your theme, your outfits, your words. And we are that type of shady.
See, that's the type I like. That's the type I like. You throw something at me.
Take that though.
I love it.
People cannot take that.
Let me come to Texas and y'all say who expect to come in, and y'all start throwing stuff at us. I'm gonna be like, that's fine, because you don't even know what's in my back pocket that y'all about to find out right now. And when we do it, now don't come running after me and jumping on me because you started this play. But I love that.
We're that type that we applaud that. Like I live for that shade. When you throw shade and this cutthroat like facts, I be like, yeah. Some people they can't take it.
I mean, I had a team up here,
but.
I had a team up here that did it to me last season, and it was funny. I mean, the whole skit little thing. I was like, they talk about me. They are talking about us, and they're talking about me. I didn't get mad. I live for it. I said, okay, but when we come next time, and we did, and I had something for them for the state championship, but COVID stopped it. When I say I had it, I had it. Yeah, oh yeah, it was yeah. It was like, y'all better keep on your big boy pants and be okay, because what he is about to bring y'all is about to make everybody like, did he just really say that? But it's all fun. It's all fun.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Next question here, right here on my phone. I'm ready for you to answer this one. What is something the step word needs to change? And then what is something that we need to keep the same?
Okay, I kind of went back and forth with this. Something that the step world needs to change. Okay, I feel like a lot of the times You have those teams who have been in high positions for a while.
Okay.
So when you come to a show, you expect them to do good. I feel like you have some judges on the panel who knows about this team, who's already ready for them to win. You get what I'm saying?
Oh.
But when this team don't meet those expectations, we cannot let that team win. I feel like some teams be floating. They be coasting by, doing the same thing, and we know in our hearts, the audience know, the judges know that they did not win that show. But we're gonna let them win that show because the team that it is.
The name.
And it's not acceptable at all. Like, I don't know if I'm saying the judging panel needs to change. We need to be a little bit more diverse on who's on the judging panel. Maybe have a little coaching session every time we get judges. But yeah, some of these teams that are up here, if they don't do good, they don't do good. If they got beat, they got beat. And we need to just be very clear on that when it comes to certain shows.
Judge what you see right now. That's
correct.
Judge what you see right now. Okay, I get that. All right. So what's something that needs to stay the same? I'll take that. What needs to stay the same?
Oh, what needs to stay the same? So many changes need to be made. I want to say the coaching. Okay, hold on, because that can be misconcepted. When I say the coaching, I mean we have so many coaches out there who are like die hard for their kids. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So many coaches who really live, eat, breathe STEP in these kids of their life.
Right.
I feel like that part of STEP needs to stay because some of these kids need that.
Right.
You know, we go through so many kids, but we don't take the time out to really tell the story of how many kids that we actually touch.
Right.
We save their lives. We keep them out the streets. You get what I'm saying? When they're going through things. So those coaches who are really in it for the kids and would do anything for these kids, that's one thing that I love to see. If a coach is fussing and fighting about their kids at a show because you're not going to do my kids this way, I understand that completely. I feel that. You get what I'm saying? I start crying even though it ain't my team because I understand it because I would do anything for my kids. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that part of coaching where the coaches really, the kids are their everything, that part needs to stay the same.
And honestly, I haven't met one STEP coach, and I pray I never do. I haven't met one STEP coach that does not go hard for the kid. They might do it in different ways. Some of them are not outspoken as some of us are, but some of them do it quietly behind the scenes. But I've never met a coach that does not go all out for their STEP team. So I agree with that one too. I agree with that one. All right, here we go. Before we go into this next part, talk about Memphis, the brother, the friend, the coach. Talk about our brother Memphis.
Oh Lord. Memphis, my first encounter with Memphis was at Stump Wars.
Okay.
I think it was his first year doing Stump Wars. I left my shoes or something. I don't remember if I was still stepping, if I had just graduated, but I left my shoes. I know I was in the show. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he overheard the conversation. But he came over like, hey, are y'all missing something? Did y'all need something? And I told him I left my shoes. And I don't know if he gave me, I can't remember if he gave me his shoes, one of his kids' shoes. He gave me somebody's shoes to use. That was my first ever encounter with Memphis. Wow. Still at that point, I didn't know who he was.
Right.
I can't even tell you when we actually got close. But Memphis, when that whole situation happened, I put up screenshots of, our conversation. Me and Memphis used to talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was to the point where I wanted Memphis. He's one of those who would literally take the shirt off his back.
The shoes off his feet, literally.
Shoes off his feet.
Yeah.
I could call Memphis. And he gonna make it happen. In a whole nother city, he gonna make it happen.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was getting ready for nationals, and I think it was either nationals or it was this year. It was in 2019. I was getting ready for do a show. And I said, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm probably gonna do this and do that. But I know if I do this, people gonna have something to say. And this was Memphis's exact words. Go ahead and do it because who's gonna pop you? I said,
right.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Favorite. His
Favorite word.
line.
I said, I'm doing it, and guess what? I did it. We got some fun questions here. All right. This is I called it the Thanksgiving Step Show, but now we're going to call it just coming to somebody's house to eat, all right? Or what do we call those things? We have, when you have a party at the house, the little setback, little kickback, all right? This is called the Kickback Step Show, and you got to bring something to the kickback, all right? You got to bring the drinks. You got to bring the food. We don't call it potluck. We call it kickback. You got to bring the potato salad. You got to bring the macaroni and cheese. So we're going to call it the Kickback, the Step Team Edition. I'm going to give you a category. You got to tell me which team is bringing this to the Step Show, to the Kickback Step Show. Here we go. What team is in charge of bringing the extraness?
Give that to X Factor again, not because this is your show, but your team is extra on stage, and then you got the coach who's extra off stage right along with them. So,
come on!
you know that one little video you be posting, Chad? You will be on stage with them, because I'd be like, Lord, sit yourself down.
Right, and I won't ever sit down. I'll be like, yep, I'm here. Shoot, I am here.
It's everything, no. It's everything, but yes, I'm gonna definitely get into X Factor again, Chad.
We are extra. EXTRA, extra. Call me Coach Extra. Coach Extra.
I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Who is now? This is a hard one. You can name more than one team on this one. What team is in charge? Are you ready? I'm getting up when I say it. What team is in charge of bringing the Ripples?
The Ripples. The Ripples.
Come on, keep naming them because there's tons of us. Come on. Roll
down this X Factor. The people, I'm naming the people who, when they do a Ripple, it gets me hype.
Royal Icons, those Ripples. Come on.
I thought I could name myself. That was on the thing.
Oh, well, name it now because we're talking about Ripples.
We definitely do Ripples. Shout out
Ripples.
To Curtis. Shout out to Curtis for teaching me. But yes, the people that makes me get up at my seat, that would be the Royal Icons. Oh, that's me.
You're fine.
The Royal Diamonds and X Factor. Y'all, yeah.
Yeah, this Ripple Speed. I do appreciate you coming on here with me, Coach Will, and clearing the air and just being honest. And I do appreciate it. Coach, you know, I respect what you do for the longest. I enjoy your team. I enjoy everything you do. So keep being you and just continue to just coach and just make your mark in the step word. And trust me, by you saying what you said today, if anybody ever thought anything negative, I feel today by watching this, they can see you in a different light of saying he admitted to something, he grew from it, we learned from it, and that's what life is all about. So I do appreciate you coming out here.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for supporting me, because you definitely supported me even when I had my co-ed team, Synergy.
Yeah, I love that.
You've been there, so it's like
I've been there.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
I appreciate it so much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
This was fun.
No problem. Thank you everyone for watching this edition of the Step Exchange. I am Coach B, and I always got something to say.